That's maybe don't do that one on stream though. That's
Why not?
no.
Yeah.
That's no, stop. That's no good.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night D&D. I am Jaso, or the Wizard, or the DM, GM, whatever you want to call me. And who else is joining me this fine, high-pitched Friday evening?
Hey everyone, I'm Bailey, and I play Kama Tycoon, the College of Eloquence Bard Tiefling Merchant.
Hey everyone, I'm Luke. I'm playing Raphael, the Aasimar Bard Warlock, Witchfinder Errant, devout follower of the Church of Pelor, and all-around nice person.
What's up, everyone? My name's Kevin, and I'm playing
Monifa Sonaru, Rogue Monk Tabaxi.
Good evening, everyone. I will be playing Cassius Auditor, a Tiefling Warlock. To hell with that human.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, what human?
I'm Kyle. I'm playing Obishaloon. I am best bodyguard on Halcyon. I stop attack. He's a Twilight cleric. He's not a carrot.
Hey guys, I'm Amanda. I play Alloy, the Tabaxi Artificer.
Cute.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick, and I play Vip Maxworth at your service, Pixie, Fairy Folk, Ranger Extraordinaire, and the best salesman you'll ever find in the Twixt.
Thank you guys so much. I'm just fixing some weird cropping with these images for you guys here. I think I got everybody except, let's get you, Amanda, real quick. I want to throw a quick shout out, as always at the beginning of the stream, to the wonderful artist who did the art for each of our characters. Thank you so much, Peachy. Go check her out over on Twitter. She did a great job. Everyone loves them. They're really cool. Thank you so much. And also a shout out to, I'm going to butcher this name every time I say it, but Iruichi. Thank you so much for doing some of the NPC art. So she does have a Twitter. Go check her out as well. I believe it's a she. If not, so sorry. Yeah, go check them out. They did a great job. I really love everything we have in terms of art for this campaign. It's really cool. Thank you so much. Thank you to Spooky, the Role Players Guild, Black Cat & Co., Dungeon Glitch, and Initiative League for the follows. I really appreciate that so much. Thank you guys. And thank you, Poochie Main, for the bits donated last time. Thank you so much. By the way, speaking of bits and you guys following, as you are just watching or hanging out, even if you're just lurking, you're building up Twitch channel points, and you can use those to buy all kinds of cool stuff for the party. And that includes returning rewards like the +1 to a roll, or the curios, which are a single-use magic item, as well as new rewards like the Karma's a Bitch, Market Volatility, and the Bullion Package. And you can check all of those out and the details down below at the left-hand side of the chat there. We have a Patreon now, so patreon.com/GAWD_mode. Any tier will get you a cool digital campaign guide that is growing as time goes on and will continually be updated. But it contains a whole bunch of cool information that has taken place in terms of the people, locations, cultures of the Twixt plane, which is our homebrew plane. You can find out more info using that. I also do cool stuff like all kinds of merch stuff in the Patreon, mini print stickers, t-shirt, as well as a bi-weekly one-shot series of one-shots called Wild Force that I DM myself. So if you are interested, we already had the first session last Sunday, and we'll be taking up one again, not this Sunday, but the following for bi-weekly. But you can totally get in on that. It has a overarching storyline, but it is largely one-shots as they go, so it's an easy sort of drop-in, drop-out experience if you only want to join for a little while, or maybe you can only pop in certain months. But yeah, go check that out at patreon.com/GAWD_mode. We have stream stickers that Bay, thank you so much for making the art for those stream stickers. They were really cute chibi versions of all the characters, and I said we should just make those as stickers because they're cute as hell. So if you guys are subbed to the channel, you get exclusive stickers, including those to use that is specific for this campaign here. And as I mentioned before, the global stickers do cost a little bit of bits each. However, that gives you a progression bar to unlock cool animated versions of the stickers, and it also gives me the ability to actually unlock more sticker slots so that I can use them for all kinds of cool stuff. Thank you so much, Chaotic Stupid Media, for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for hanging out. We use the D&D Beyond plugin, not for all of our characters, but for the ones who decided to put themselves out there. You can check that out by mousing over the screen and taking a look at each of the characters in a little bit more in-depth detail as you are watching here. And let me just fix Kevin's screen over here. Hang on just a second. Kevino's our last one who's cut off. That is really it for most of my housekeeping. We use homebrew rules, but I went over that last session. Let's see here. Knowledge checks, as you guys know, as always, are free, so don't be afraid to make use of those things. And no inspiration this campaign, but who currently holds the karma coin?
Karma.
Bailey did. She just doesn't.
Miss Karma does.
Oh, she just popped out. Okay, she's gone. So she holds the karma coin currently, so just something you guys to keep in mind for whatever reasons. Before I play our intro, though, and before we jump in with a recap, let's first tally off our investments as an exchange round comes to an end. So let me just really quickly switch the music here, and hopefully Babe pops back in.
She says she thinks her computer died.
Oh no.
That's no good.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, while she restarts that, why don't I go ahead play the intro, and then we'll do our recap, and then by then maybe she'll be back and we can go over the earnings. She doesn't have to be here for the earnings to find out what she got. We can just tell her, but I want to make sure that she's here when you guys go to invest when this new round kicks in. So let me go ahead and run our intro. Thank you so much, Hope, for TTRPGs for the follow. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. Let me play the intro. We'll come back, do a recap, and then hopefully Bae will rejoin us. So you guys on the stream here are gonna see some weird looking portraits of people, but that's okay. We're just waiting for Bae to come back. So let me go ahead, run that, and then we'll be right back. I'm gonna mute us real quick. Welcome back. We're still waiting for Bae, so in the meantime, those of you who are here, why don't we have everyone roll a d20, and Amanda, you may not be privy to this, but everyone rolls a d20.
Oh.
The person who rolls the lowest gives a recap from last week, unless you gave it last week, in which case you can have immunity. Oh, Kevin.
I will never suffer repercussions for my actions.
I think the last time Luke gave a recap was 30 years ago, 32 maybe. So, Kevin, buddy, you had some pretty good memory there throughout the week. Well, let's see if it sticks with you. What happened last time on Devils in the Details?
Well, last week we all met, found out we were working for the Bullionaire Bastion on this. We went to get who did we talk to? I forget the name.
Dazzle.
Names are not my favorite. Yes. Went to talk to them about what we were doing. They let us know that there seems to be demons who have gotten into the upper rungs of the Bastion, kind of messing up everything for us. So we're trying to see what we can find out about them. We found out about the people being turned into gold. Then we ended up going to meet with the Eidolon, whose name...
Porphyry.
Porphyry, who myself and my daughter Aloy went to check his vault actually earlier. We let everyone know. We went to see if we could get some information. I tried to speak with him and tried to just sort of suggest that we need to get back into his vault to spread some Varax repellent. Unfortunately, he didn't buy it. So everyone came out. We entered he wanted to take us somewhere to show us, let us know exactly what's going on. He turned into his demon form. And I don't remember if there was anything after that.
He introduced you to what seems like a large divine being.
Yes.
And that is pretty much where the session ended. Also, Lazy, yes, as I mentioned, cameras are going to be a little messed up until Bae gets back. So if I try to rearrange them now, then when she does get back, they're just going to be thrown all off again. So if you don't mind just hanging out, they'll be fixed hopefully here soon when Bae gets back. So yes, you guys were planning to do a infiltration of the office building or office room of Porphyry when it turns out he just invited you in and then took you to who he claims is his master. But before we jump into that, let's just go ahead and do the exchange round endings so that you guys can figure out how much each of you made before we begin a new round.
Or lost.
Or loss. It could be a loss as well, yeah. Hang on just a second. So, last we had looked, there were these three companies here, each of them having a different exchange forecast. Mysticorp's here was set such that it was going to hold steady. The question is, did it hold steady or not? And let me just open these other notes here real quick. OBs, you put in what looks like the majority of your bullion pieces into this. You made a hefty bargain. Let's see if it paid off. Hang on just a second. I'm scrolling down to it now. So, Mysticorp, in the end, although determined to hold steady, found itself having a fantastic time. So this is a bit extrapolated if you'll think about it. This isn't in real time, so these stocks, you know, if we have a session where only a couple hours pass and then another one where maybe a day or two passes, this is not the stock changing that rapidly. Just think as time draws on, you guys are looking at the various Halcyon sort of like flip panels where the stock numbers are on these sort of like flipping panels across this board here are showing up, and you're just taking a look, getting your investments in. So for Mysticorp, they determined to be holding steady, and instead they had a miraculous time earning a numerical score of 9 out of 10, meaning that everyone who put investments into Mysticorp gained triple what they put in.
Lucky.
OBs, you go from 8 bullion pieces to 24. Alloy, you go from 8 to 24. Karma put in 5, getting herself 15 in the process. And then Monifa, you put in 3, but are able to take out now 9, or at least currently hold 9 in the value. And I'm going to edit karmas here. So if you guys will go ahead and punch those values in for the ones over on Mysticorp. The hold steady is done, and the next exchange forecast for Mysticorp is it's projected to fall. Next up for Omega Acoustics. Quite a few of you guys put in a similar amount to everyone else, 4 people.
Cash, Jesus. You put
Cash just deciding to just
Went all in.
slap his balls onto the table and go all in. It was, so Omega Acoustics was projected to fall, and fall they did, getting a value of 5. So not a huge plunge, meaning whoever put a certain amount into this is only going to be able to draw out 3/4 of what they put in. So basically, I'm going to round up or down based on the values. If it's a point number, and if it's 0.5, I'm going to round down. So Raphael, you put in 4 pieces. You now only have 3 of those. Vip, you cannot go below 1, so you still have 1 piece in Omega Acoustics. Bet small and didn't have that change much. Karma put in 3, she goes down to 2. And then Cassius, you put in 7, but luckily it didn't drop too far. You put in 10, but it didn't drop too much in its value, so you go down to 7. So if you guys will make sure and punch those numbers in, I'm going to make sure and have karmas updated here. Finally, before we do this, that was the previous round. So the new rounds for Omega Acoustics is it is projected to hold steady. Finally, Voidistries, the one that most of you put the largest amount in. Seems like everyone, seeing that it had an opportunity to rise, decided to put some stock into it. We will see if that ended up paying off, as the actual value expected to rise, but Voidistries had one of their Spelljammer cruisers attacked and destroyed during one of its routes, making its stock, while projected to rise, accidentally and surprisingly plunge with a value of 2.
Oh, God.
Oh.
OBs, you put in only 2, and now its value's worth 1 overall. Vip, you decided to gamble big with 9 pieces. You are now down to 2. Monifa,
oh my God.
You put in a large amount at 7, and that 2 falls down to the value of 2. Alloy, Karma, and Raphael, just based on rounding it out to a solid number, the 5, the 2 from Karma, and the 6 from Raphael goes each down to 1.
Well, I do not understand this nonsense. In a blink of an eye, we have lost thousands of gold that could have been put to use doing actual important righteous things in the world. This place is a hive of sin and debauchery, and I despise it.
You watch as the flip panels on the various exchange boards shift and find that Voidistries is expected to, again, rise.
Lies.
So, if you guys need me to delete any of these tokens, or I think because you have control of them, you can delete them too if you want to consolidate your values into just one pile. It is up to you. In the meantime, why don't you all go ahead and re-establish where you want to put your new currencies that you currently hold. I'm going to move Karma's off the board here and consolidate hers. So before you guys begin to move them for a new round, I just want to go over bottom to top in terms of the overall number of bullion pieces. Vip, you should have a total of 3 prestige bullion now. Raphael, you hold on to 4. Cassius, you bet big, but unfortunately only lost a little. You're down to 7. Monifa, a solid 11. Karma, sitting at a nice 18. And finally, tied for the top is both Obese and Alloy with 25 prestige pieces.
As it should be.
King of the castle. King of the castle.
So, the new round begins. You guys are welcome to put them wherever you wish. If you need to make copies of anything, let me know. But go ahead and make your new assessments for the week.
I would like another token, please.
All right.
Dang. Both of mine lost. The only thing I didn't put anything on was the one that gained. That's brutal.
The way it actually works.
Yeah.
Right.
Welcome, Spooky. This is D&D, but this is a weird mini game first before we're doing some investments.
I think I said it before, and I think I'm staying again.
Ballsy. So, if what I'm looking at is correct,
It's not yet.
I was gonna say, let me see here. Let me see what OB's changes his to.
Do some quick maths. Run the numbers, you see.
So it seems as though everyone has moved away from Mysticorp, leaving only OBs to put some into it. Next up is Omega Acoustics. A large number of people seem to find that the Hold Steady is a nice area to sit, so most people put in a lot. OB's throwing in the majority of his, and then Alloy similarly throwing in quite a lot. Finally,
Before we finalize, Cassius got a bullion package from So Much Gooseface.
oh, thank you so much, Goose. That was very nice of you. So, in that case, why don't we have you, Cassius, give me a 1d4 roll, and you will
We've got
gain.
one also from Lazy
Oh,
Vengeance.
nice. Good job. So both you, Vip, and Cassius, give me a 1d4 roll, and then add that value to your bullion. 3 out of 4, not bad, Cassius.
Looks like I'm back where I started. Someone has faith in me. Thank you very much.
Nicely done, guys. This.
I got an X too. Lazy, that's a smart investment there.
Raphael's like that dog sitting at the computer. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Boomer.
Yeah, basically.
Or number change.
Voidistries, seeing that things are on the rise despite having a catastrophic previous investment period or exchange period. You guys are still throwing some money into it, especially Alloy over here putting a lot into it. We'll see if that pays off.
That expensive taste, like a mom.
We'll man, I hate to keep going without Bae. Hopefully she's doing okay. Did she message anything like in the Facebook
Yeah.
It
chat?
seems like her comp is like dead.
Oh
Dead.
no.
I recommended mobile Discord, so she might pop up in a minute.
Smells burnt. Uh-oh.
Yeah. She said.
Oh,
Bae?
No.
That's the decoy card.
MIA.
So I've put her full values in there. I'm just gonna keep her off the board, and then whenever she's able to get back, we'll let her do her investments. So in the meantime, do you guys want to just take a quick fiver and see if she wants to pop into the Discord, and then we can go?
Sure.
Okay.
wait. So
Yeah.
how does the karma coin work now then?
What do you mean?
She had it.
He still has it. Yeah.
So she has it until when?
She has it until she uses it, or someone in the chat uses karma as a bitch.
Oh, okay.
Let's take just a quick 2-minute break, and let's see if she can pop into the chat.
Okay.
I know we're twitching. I know you guys are watching, but we just want to have Bae come back so that, because this is what I consider like part 2 of like a premiere episode of a show. Like this episode is kind of just as important as the first one, so I'd hate to have her miss out on meeting some key characters. So yeah, let's just take a quick 2-minute break. See if she can pop in the Discord. I'm gonna take a look at the Facebook chat. So just guys, hang on. We'll be right back in just 2 minutes. Okay, we are back. The screens are going to be a little messed up, but Bay is able to join us on her phone, which is awesome. So we will have her for this session. Just going to have some weird pictures out of place. But you guys, just like in D&D, you can just use the theater of the mind to imagine what most of them look like. Except for Kyle, for whatever reason. He's perfectly fine. You look confused, Kyle.
I was moving stuff around. I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. It doesn't matter now.
Okay.
It's all over.
Hi, everybody. I'm here too.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys. So last time, as we mentioned previously, you guys were taken by Darvile from his office through a doorway that almost led to another impossible-looking realm before finally taking you through another door on the opposite end of just what looks like a platform in midair with no walls or anything, and using a key that was embellished with what looked like gold wings on the top of it, was able to open the door into a sanctum of sorts, a rounded mausoleum that was filled with the glare of starlight out in the distance beyond the stained glass windows and open areas of the columns out here. It is pretty vast, and towards the center, through a roiling mist, was a number of steps that led up to a platform, a tall, exquisite chair made of gold with gold set wings on the top, and there sits a creature of a certain... She appears female. She is larger than any of you guys. Even sitting, you can tell she's probably like 10 or so feet tall, and just like a size larger than you all. And as Darvile kneels before her, introducing himself, or introducing you guys rather, would be more appropriate to her, she looks to you all and says,
I have heard the pleas of you mortals, the cries for succor and aid in the gilded halls of the Bastion. Stand before me and lend me your ears. I am the Resplendent, and my divinity shall wash over this city with its radiant light to banish the shadows that haunt it.
That's good. That's gonna be a religion check. That's like... I need to know. She calls herself the Resplendent?
yes.
Oh man. Yeah, can I make a religion check? Have I heard of a Resplendent? Particularly one that uses language that I would use?
Sure.
But she's consorting with the devil. How could this be?
Can I take a history check on that?
Sure, absolutely.
21 on religion.
Karma, you have a +1. Thank you so much, Gooseface. Or no, thank you, Lazy, for that.
Thank you, Lazy.
Cassius, you try to think back and see if you remember any divine or celestial being that you've heard of called the Resplendent, and do not remember. Raphael, you have a little tighter grasp in terms of thinking about the religious nature of this being and trying to place it amongst the immortal coil of the gods that you do know, and still have nothing comes to you in terms of anything regarding the Resplendent.
I remained extremely suspicious and continued listening.
As I mentioned before, there is a certain opulent radiance that surrounds her, and she embellishes herself with a number of golden accented pieces of both her gown and jewelry. Her silvery hair lit in the starlight here, one of the large open areas at the top of the mausoleum, letting in this large ray of starlight to shine her podium essentially here. And she continues.
I am keenly aware of the situation this city faces. Its name twisted into a grotesque mockery amongst the fiends who hide in plain sight. You 7 have been assembled to remove your organization's demons, have you not?
Yes.
I guess you could say
All that.
it's just another job.
We have been selected for holy work. This is accurate.
She says,
You each strike a different chord in the melody of desire, and yet you still may have the potential to change Halcyon for the better. This matter requires a delicate touch. Simply removing the rot of the abyssal plague festering inside the body of the Bullionaire Bastion will not kill the disease. There is something more. The Bastion lacks a transcendent ideology. You see, it is their lust for material wealth that darkens their hearts and opens the doorways of their minds to be manipulated by these fiends. Try as they might, even if they remove the demons in their midst, it will only be a matter of time before they are reclaimed by their avarice, and the cycle repeats itself.
she studies each of you before resting her eyes on you, Raphael.
You, what is your name?
My name is Raphael. I am a witchfinder errant in the Holy Church of Pelor.
You carry his symbols.
Indeed, I do.
Devout, are you?
The Lord of Sunlight walks with me, always, even in the darkest darkness.
The rays of the sun from Halcyon are tainted with the avarice of its people. You, above all, may be keenly aware of this.
Indeed, the things you say are points that I have become very acutely aware of as of late.
I have provided you my audience for this purpose, Bastion. Through my divine sight, I can see that the Bastion is headless and fragile. I offer you the only real salvation for Halcyon, and that is under my splinterous guidance. These people may not realize it, but I can hear the pain of material weight with each breath they take. Their words dry, their tongues parched for the dew of my philanthropic holiness. I will anoint this city with a new mantra, one led by charity and love, not megalomania. My resplendent light shall offer divine tranquility to those who seek it.
You do speak wisely, Resplendent. May I ask, do you follow a dogma of your own, a member of the Great Holy Pantheon?
Love. Love is my mantra.
I see. Well then.
I'd like to take an insight check on that.
Yeah.
Is she telling the truth?
Sure.
Insight investigation. What can I get away with an investigation? It's about the same for an insight.
I think insight would work better.
17.
Vip, you try to read her, it's a little difficult to tell. Obese, you and Cassius try to read her body language and are able to read it at about the same efficiency. And from what you two gather, it seems as though she is being honest about... love is a pretty broad term, but she seems to be telling the truth.
Love of what?
I was just going to ask the same thing, my dear lady. What is it that you love?
Love is an all-encompassing virtue. It is through love that charity, compassion, all of these things flow from. Helping others, and in turn being helped oneself. A bliss that one can carry through life, knowing that you are both loved and love.
You keep strange company for one that feels this way, Raphael says, kind of nodding to Darville.
I understand my presence here in a city baked with such sins may come as a surprise to you. But do not underestimate my holy justice. I shall offer you a gift, a demonstration of my power. Stand, Darvile. Show them the mark of your liberation. Tell them of your revelations,
she says. And as she says this, Darvile stands up, turning his attention to you. As he does, you all notice a bright golden pair of wings, similar to that of the key he used to open the door here, blaze with a brilliant light on his forehead for just a moment before fading away. Darvile looks at each of you and says, I've worked for the guild for some time. I had a direct hand in the minting of Porphyry, taking his place afterwards. This was all before the guidance her divine hands helped to lend. I no longer seek to undermine the Bastion. He turns, looking up at her and then back at you all. All I want now is the tranquility of her presence, seated at the helm of this city.
I see. This is quite unorthodox. However, your intentions seem to be just, well, at least on the surface. What is it that you ask of us, then, resplendent one?
You must understand. As Darvile has told me, you are not the first time the Bullionaire Bastion has attempted to remove the guild. And without me, it will not be the last. Imagine how many people I could help. In the eyes of the Bastion, wealth will always be first. But with my resplendent charge, devotion and love would be its new tenet, compassion its new reward. I shall offer Darvile to accompany you from here, Bastion. I have exorcised his greed and corruption. You need not fear him betraying you. Take him back to your people for questioning if you would like. I only ask that you consider this divine proposal I put forward to you. Despite my willingness to offer Halcyon's deliverance, they would not see it as so, as their minds are too clouded with material greed. I offer something much more sublime. I seek to be this city's paramour, and its people mine. I have many agents hidden within this city, set free by my grace. I ask that you keep my name from your lips as they do, and instead, when the time comes for you to arbitrate, I ask that you simply think of my love instead. When the Bastion finishes removing its demons, I shall be sure to convert the replacements so that I may sow my holy seeds within its ranks. And, in time, when your assignment is completed, if enough of you truly wish for a tranquil future, you have made sure that your faction has enough of my followers so that I may take my place at its throne. I would hope to have you by my side when that time comes.
Did we ask her where she came from?
Not yet.
Nope.
All right. Whenabouts and howabouts did you get around to being here, lady? Your resplendentness.
I have been here for a small amount of time. But in that time have garnered a certain amount of leverage, and am hoping that by proposing what I believe to be the only real solution for Halcyon, considering that you all are at the forefront of fixing things, that you would understand where I stand and would follow my ways.
So, I may be new to this, but gods speak of each other as friends and allies at times, but you seek work from us. And I'm going to look to Raphael. This man already has a god. What would prevent him from putting his god's will in place instead of yours?
Would you think that Palor would simply fall from his celestial realm to sit in this city?
No, but he may install his own will through us, through mortals.
A possibility. But what does Palor have that love does not? A light already shines brightly on the city, and yet its sins still overbear its presence.
As I see it, it would stand against the Golden Lady's will in its own right.
I am not seeking to form a new religion, simply to be put at the head of the Bastion, so that I may turn its course and free it from potential destruction.
Man, I wish I had divine sense like a paladin. That would be...
I feel naked without a paladin stuff.
It's like seeing the dialogue options grayed out on a game.
No!
What? You speak of love, but what of gold? What of prosperity?
What of it?
Where does that stand in your grand scheme?
I seek to change the direction of Bullionaire Bastion to one of love and charity, no longer solely focused on the gathering of a wealth that they can never fully spend in their small lifetimes. As a matter of fact, as a gift for calling upon me during arbitration, I will allow you to think of a business of your choosing if you wish, and I shall ensure that my followers working within it make a lavish donation in its name, lowering its stock value but donating to a charitable cause.
Basically meaning that if you call on her at arbitration, you can choose to lower any business's value by 1.
Oh, fun. Well, your goals certainly seem noble. However, I am still uncertain of your methods. What you have done to Darvile over there is, some may say, a good thing, but a consecrated evil is still evil nevertheless. You have merely obfuscated it. Who's to say someone could not usurp your magic, your resplendence?
Always a possibility, Raphael. But consider the alternative. No one...
Purging him? Yes, I would sooner purge him. It's the only way to be sure.
You may decide to purge him, and certainly Bastion seeks to do so, to wring out and strung up those of the demonic kind. But that will simply create a hole where more of them will fill in. What I seek is a change to Bullionaire Bastion's mindset, a shifting from their need for material wealth. It is that very greed that attracts the avarice of creatures like this.
I do not disagree. I will consider these things that you've told us. You've at least piqued my interest.
Worship amongst other gods would be freely admitted within Halcyon, Raphael. I see no reason that Palor could not also have a place within the city. After all, Topside does see the bright light, although artificial, still a sun nonetheless, that basks its streets in a beautiful golden glow.
Yes, yes, honeyed words, honeyed words.
Well then, if you would...
Raphael does a little bow and kind of steps back from the group for a moment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ob's messages Raphael. I got all wrapped up in it. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Oh, no.
Did we, does Dazzle know about, her?
Don't know. Dazzle never mentioned her.
It's true.
Okay. So, okay, alright. Alright, well. Not gonna say nothing then.
She looks to you all and says,
When you take your leave, should you wish to commune with me, you simply need to hold my visage in your heart. Understand that I am busy communing with many others throughout this city, so my time may not always be open. But should you need to call on me to speak, I shall do my best to hear it.
Thank you, Lady Resplendent.
Thank you, Bastion. Please do consider what I believe to be the only solution for Halcyon.
Did she say that Darvile was going to come with us?
Darvile is standing up, gathering his things, and steps up to each of you.
And we have a pet now. Great.
You're cramping our style already.
What is it that you do?
Darvile goes, well, for a while I was seeking to undermine your faction. But that has changed now. Whenever you're ready, I will see to taking us back to my office room.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
He turns everyone around and steps back up to the door frame with the door that has nothing else attached to it. You see nothing behind it. And using this key with these pair of golden wings on it, as he opens it, it opens back up into this elaborate labyrinth of winding stairs that's almost dizzying to look at. Various floating platforms in the distance. You guys cross one yourselves and eventually find yourself stepping back into his office room. So, as this happens, you guys step back into his office room. He looks at you and says, should I continue to accompany you, or should I find the nearest associates of the Bullionaire Bastion to turn myself in?
I look to the rest of the group.
You do? Who do you know?
Yes.
What do you mean exactly?
Do you know people in all kinds of, like, little hidey holes, high places, low places? You know anything about any other devils, maybe?
Oh, I have plenty of information I could provide if that's what you're asking.
Oh, sweetheart, I want you to sing like a bird, yes.
Would it be...
You should trust none of it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I still want to... we gotta try.
This may take some time. Are we doing this here? It does not matter to me. Simply asking.
I think we should find a better place. We should go. For now, you follow us.
Very well. I will accompany you.
I message OBs. Clearly an agent of the lady sent to keep tabs on us.
Yes. Find what we can from him and then cut him loose.
I like you, Simeon 1. So where do we go? Like, do we have like a place we could collectively like go to that would be like a safe place to like chat him up and gather information?
You guys would have each of your own places of residence here in Halcyon. In terms of where you'd like to actually go, there could be a number of opportunities. You could just bring him back to one of your rooms if you wanted. It's up to you. Where would you guys want to take him if you're going somewhere else other than the office?
Somewhere quiet, out of the way, where no one will ask questions.
What was Porphyry's status?
Turned into gold.
Oh.
Super dead.
Yeah.
So dead.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, right. I mean, but Darvile was pretending to be Potpourri still alive. What was Potpourri doing? What was his status? Like, he was like an investor or a janitor, or...
Are you asking him that?
Yeah, sure.
Darvile says, yes, a multifaceted investor and a client of Bullionaire Bastion.
Who would have the most dealings with this sort of man? He looks at Vip. Perhaps we take him to that place.
That's a really, really good point, Big Red. I like it.
So, yeah, where would we bring him?
So we all have private homes, right?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I guess, like, to your place?
Sure.
Oh, we're going to the Pixie's place? Really?
Where do you do business, Pixie?
Anywhere that we can possibly find it. Really.
It's not fruitful.
Not helpful at this moment. Where would you take someone to do private business?
And you name it, there's a spot for a deal. If there's a back of a diner, a bar.
We are looking for a specific place right now, Pixie, not the generals.
I got a spot. I got just the spot.
Excellent.
I genuinely don't have a spot.
Can I do some kind of history check to see if there's any kind of like places,
Sure.
offices that we could go to?
Yeah, Vip would have some sort of like one of those crowdsource offices with the virtual assistant, or like there's like 18 businesses under one address spot to go to.
Yeah, I feel like Karma would just like also hold on. I don't know how to roll in this. Oh, wait, I got it. Did it work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have a bonus to that, or just straight 18?
+2.
You have your +1 also in the chat.
Oh, I'll use my +1 from the chat too.
Hell yeah.
So +3, so 21.
I
think.
In terms of you just trying to find a place quiet and out of the way per se, where you wouldn't have too many onlookers or suspicious people, then I mean, literally right here in Darvile's office could be a potential spot. Any of your own private rooms, as far as you know, is relatively safe and secure. Vip, you similarly have your offices and your private office that is part of that you could probably just have a private conversation in there. Any number of places actually seem meaningful to you, Karma.
Jason, what is the most hoveliest, lowest end part of town? That I know we're talking about Halcyon here, but is there like a part of town that is like slightly less well-to-do as the rest of the part of town? Because that is where Raphael would be.
If there's any spot on Halcyon that's going to be similar to that, it is not going to be really hovely, but you can probably find some slightly darker corners and slightly less tread streets on the bottom side of Halcyon in Lux, where only the starlight lights it up, so it's relatively darkened and somewhat secretive, if you will.
I have a feeling
that's kind of far away from us, though, right?
No, you guys could travel there if you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
I feel Vip would take us to like the nearest like Applebee's on a Friday. Like, two for one.
That's pretty accurate.
A quiet place, preferably.
We can always go back to our apartment. We try to lay low.
We can go back to the apartment.
Oh, yes, you must have a workshop of some sort.
We do.
A perfect place to do an inquiry.
Very well, I suppose.
What is everyone's passive perception?
Same.
Anybody over 15?
Yeah, 19.
Woo.
Damn.
I see everything. You got sharp eyes.
Mine's 18. Right behind you, big guy.
Jeez.
Passive perception?
Yeah.
No, passive perception's 11. Investigation's 14.
Okay. Karma, OBs, As you guys turn, you hear the sound of something shifting, what sounds like on the floor of this place here, this kind of carpeted area. And as you turn to look, you notice that underneath the closed door here of Darvile's office, as you guys are having this conversation, is a number of what looks like closed letters with the emblem of what looks like the Bullionaire Bastion crest sealing them.
Grabby hands.
It's evidence.
I would like to waltz on over there.
As you waltz on over and grab a number of the letters, there is 7 of them, each addressed to one of you.
Oh shit. Somebody was expecting us. I smell my letter. Does it
I
smell
detect
like
magic.
Okay.
Smell.
Karma, you smell it. It has a what would this smell like?
But
It smells like sweat.
But
Oh, it smells like sweat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raphael, you run a hand over it to try and sense any magic and don't gather anything from it.
Okay. I open it.
Yeah.
if it seems safe.
As each of you open your letters, you find within a note penned by Dazel addressed to each of you. As you each sort of like either compare or read aloud your notes, they're largely the same thing. Dazel just mentions in this parchment here written to each of you that after you have gathered the appropriate evidence from Potpourri's, in quotations, offices, before you arbitrate, Dazel wants to meet with you at a place called the Dapper Devil Restaurant before finishing your arbitration. And included is a set of directions to get there, which is actually located on Lux.
So to be clear, Jason, what is the like finishing point of our arbitration? Like, when is the next like checkpoint sort of thing we're gonna try to reach before we go do the crazy metal orb thing?
Right now, all that Dazel had mentioned to you guys was to gather a meaningful amount of evidence that would determine whether or not this Potpourri was an actual demon in disguise.
Well, there we are. I still think we should ask the questions before we go to the restaurant, however.
Yeah, after that, she just mentioned, gather whatever evidence you have, which now that Darvile is going with you, that's probably a pretty succinct amount of evidence. She wants you to arbitrate. Basically, she's not even asking you guys to like kill these guys or try to replace them. She is simply suggesting on these assignments for you guys to gather information, and then the Bullionaire Bastion will apprehend them at a later point. You guys do have Darvile for this, though. Afterwards, she wanted you to arbitrate, but these letters are cluing you in that Dazel wants you to meet at the Dapper Devil restaurant before you do that. And they do mention that you're to meet there in a few hours.
Very well. Let's get these questions out of the way. Quickly to the feline's apartment.
You guys head to Alloy's workshop?
Yeah.
Alloy.
Yeah,
Sure.
What does your workshop look like?
Oh, geez. Okay. I was not ready for this. It's pretty big. There's stuff all over. It's like kind of chaotic. She's not very clean. There's like kind of like half-made Sir Cogwheels everywhere. And other little things. That's all I got for you.
This is good.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. You guys step inside here. It's a little chaotic. Probably not all that different from what you would expect from a tabaxi. And you guys make your way inside. Darvile follows you along as you make your way through the Halcyon streets and find yourselves probably entering a little bit of an elevated vertical building before reaching the level where Alloy's workshop would be. Or would your workshop be like up in a building, or would it be just like a large open, like a hangar-sized warehouse type of thing?
I was thinking like kind of like large open place, and maybe it's like kind of connected to our apartment somehow, but it's not like part of the apartment.
Okay.
Does that make
So
sense?
just close by.
Yeah, like maybe it's floor level, and then you have to take an elevator or whatever you use.
Slightly
up
removed.
to the apartment. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's just on the base floor of this vertical building. Okay.
Yeah, maybe the apartment has like a garage or something, and she walks into that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That makes sense. So you guys step inside Alloy's workshop. Darvile steps in with you.
Raphael explains that he would like Darvile to submit to a zone of truth, and asks that the rest of the party have questions ready for asking Darvile.
He looks at you and says, "I find that unnecessary, but sure. I
Very
see
well.
no reason to disagree."
So it's a 15-foot radius sphere.
Mhm.
And specifically, if possible, I would like to get us in a part of the room where it's not just me and him, but also other people have no choice but to be inside the zone of truth.
I figured.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna try to resist that.
All right, then. What was that, Obese?
I am not one that is good with words. I will stand in the back. I can give... I can enhance ability, which gives advantage on skill checks for one ability. So I can bless somebody's charisma for this. Get advantage on all their charisma checks, or I can do wisdom checks.
Yeah, I guess we should table talk a little bit first. Like, what actually do we want to ask him? We should probably figure that out. Like what would our characters want to ask him before I cast the spell, and then we're just kind of like sitting around?
What organization was he with before he was converted?
Okay.
Good call.
Wait, I have like 2 brain cells, so hold on. The Resplendent, what did she want us to do with the arbitration? Like, what's her goal?
The point of arbitration was that you're just going to secretly give the okay to Bullionaire Bastion to let them know you've done your work, and they can go in and question this Potpourri using the magic device that's in the shrine of Joaquin. However, the Resplendent is asking you, instead of contacting the Bullionaire Bastion, she wants you to think about her instead, to let her know. Basically, taking her side over Bullionaire Bastion's.
Okay.
Green.
Yeah. All right. So, what organization Darvile was with before he became? I mean, he'll probably say the guild, but maybe he'll say something else, which would be pretty cool. Like, what I want to know what the process she used to quote unquote purify him,
and who she serves. She can't be a god level.
And who he served before her. I guess that's the same.
It could be different. It could be different.
Yeah, like, where did he come from? Do we know that? Like, originally?
These are all good.
Yeah, good question. Good question.
Who's writing these down?
I am. Okay. Who, what, where, when, why?
Yeah, basically. The interview. Who's his personal contacts? Did he make any deals assuming the identity is Potpourri?
I'm just writing all these down. Yeah.
That should probably come up in how
what he knows about her specifically. That's my main focus. I want to know what he knows about her and where she came.
Now we have to it's not like a thing where they just like we mind read them. We have to ask the question in such a way that they'll tell us something useful. They just can't lie when they answer our questions.
Yeah.
How many does he know were a part of the pact?
The what?
How many people he knows were converted or whatever? Numbers
terrifying
of the crew.
And ask him who else knows about us, our group.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Good thought.
What she knows about us.
She don't know me.
She said she knew us pretty well.
Maybe in her dreams.
To hell with that woman.
Okay. This is a good starting point. So I'm going to cast Zone of Truth in such a way that as many of us as possible are. I guess with the exception of Obese, which when Obese shuffles away, Raphael takes out his journal and writes something in it, and then closes it and puts it back in his vest pocket.
I'd like to join him.
Join Obese?
Yeah, I'd like to stay as far away from that as possible.
Oh, he doesn't write anything. He already doesn't trust you. So.
What were you saying, Carl?
Oh, I mean, I can give you a little aid here if you want to be in the circle. I can help you out in the circle.
There's no need.
Fair.
Who is leading this investigation?
I suppose I could. It is somewhat of my forte. However, I'm not against seeing all of your chops in the investigation field either.
I think we should take turns.
Yeah, let's do good cop, bad cop, bad cop, bad cop.
Bad cop, repeatedly, mostly bad cops, and then a good cop. All right, Zone of Truth. Does anyone try to resist Zone of Truth? You have to tell me if you do.
Sure.
Yes.
Did you tell everybody you were casting it ahead of time?
Yes, I said
You loudly proclaimed it.
Also, you'll know that I'm casting it because I have to say the words and stuff.
Zone of.
Yeah, no resist here.
All right, and then Obese and Cassius aren't standing in it. Okay.
And I also wanted to enhance ability on somebody that was doing the questioning. That was why I asked.
Oh, I mean, I guess you could do me or Karma, or we're both probably pretty high in charisma. Both of us.
And I want to give you, Raphael, a bardic inspiration just because I just have them to give out. So.
Thank you, Devil Blood. I appreciate the solidarity, which is also my inspiration to you.
Okay. Obese draws a.
You have the karma coin, by the way, Karma.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A nondescript bird is traced over you. Choose one in wisdom or charisma and take advantage on those checks.
Over who?
Who?
You, Raph.
Oh, it shall be charisma then. All right. Does Darvile try to resist the?
He's standing 4 or 5 feet away from you, and actually he's probably found a little chair to sit in amongst the workshop here, and simply watches as the aura of the Zone of Truth expands, covering him.
Okay.
Did anybody cast anything on Karma? Sorry.
Not yet.
Nobody loves me, little kitten.
I inspired you.
I'll cast
Nobody.
guidance.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
Very well, Darvile, Fiend. Surely you had a sordid past before this. What organizations did you follow when you were here on Halcyon before you came into contact with the Lady Resplendent?
I have been working for the guild for most of my time here on this city.
And the rest of your time?
That was until recently, until I now serve the Resplendent.
Do you have any names that we might be interested in? Contacts within the guild?
Perhaps a few names that may interest you, yes.
Could you speak them, please?
He grabs a notepad and begins to list a couple names.
Now, Jason, do I think that overwrites my Zone of Truth? Because the wording on Zone of Truth is they can't deliberately speak a lie, and as an Inquisitor, I think I would know to watch out for this sort of thing.
Yeah, Raphael wouldn't be too sure in how this works, as he just grabs a notepad and begins writing.
Okay.
Is that normal? Can he do that?
I messaged to Karma. Technically, it is a loophole. We should treat these names with suspicion.
I walk up next to him. Oh, how do you pronounce that name?
well, he could just answer it truthfully.
Oh, yeah.
Xantar. The H is silent.
Hey,
as he continues
Devil
writing.
Boy, you got any reason why you're not? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. So Xantar is part of the group?
The guild, yes. He continues writing. He writes down a good handful of names, like 6 to 10, and sort of does that thing where he rips the parchment off and hands it over to you all.
I'll take it.
What were you saying, Karma?
I was just gonna. Is there a reason you're not saying these names out loud?
No, I could. I just suppose that memory would be better served for me to write them for you. I'll read off the list if you'd like.
Don't be a smartass.
I do not mean such offenses.
Who else knows about us?
As far as I am aware within the guild, which is vast, and thus I may not have a plethora of information or comprehensive if you're looking for it, but I am at least aware that the guild is aware to some degree that the Bastion is likely forming a covert unit against them, though they likely are not aware that you 7 specifically are a part of it. But I could not be sure. I may be wrong.
Are there any other deities that you worked with in the past?
Deities, no.
Or angels, or devils, or whatever?
Certainly no angels. The guild largely serves Grotz, the Dark Prince.
Right. Okay.
I see. So, I would like to ask you some questions about Resplendent.
Of course.
I've seen many holy magics purify a fiend in my time, but usually the result is a little more scouring, let's say. How did she come to purify you? What was her method?
She likely, as Bullionaire Bastion did, was able to realize that I was not the Porphyry that I was claiming I was, and thus confronted me. I was hostile at first, but with a single touch, she has changed my mind, reformed me, redeemed me, and now all I seek is her love.
Did she purify anyone else other than you that you've seen?
None that I have seen, but she has claimed to have purified many.
I would like to ask your opinion. Why do you think such a figure would need to hide her supposedly resplendent light within a deep, dark vault, rather than sharing it immediately?
Because Bastion, despite the love of the Wakinar for their patron, their only real god is the coin that flows through it, and nothing else. Even if she were to shine her divine light, the blindness that overcomes the people here in their avarice would not willingly accept her.
Raphael kind of nods because he agrees with that, actually. She mentioned she follows love. Surely you must have heard her mention a different deity in her time spent with you. Someone she is in contact with, perhaps a higher power, or someone she follows.
She has spoken no such names.
For now, I believe the list of names you have given us will be quite beneficial. Is he a devil or a demon? I forget. He's a devil, right?
You guys can make a nature or history or religion check if you want.
I'm definitely going to do that.
I want to do nature.
Sure. Holy shit!
Of course,
shit.
of course. Hey, you know what though? Just because I'm gonna add Karma's inspiration to that.
Nice.
For a total of 35.
Holy shit!
Holy
Perfect roll.
shit.
I see through you.
Technically not a demon, though he, as he mentioned, serves the guild. This is a Cambion, a fiend.
Oh, that's right. I think I asked that last week. Even I just forgot it.
Nice waste of big numbers.
Yeah, well, but any special thing I should know about Cambions?
Cambions are, Raphael, you would know, are like the quintessential demonic figure who loves to sweet talk people and end up, screwing them in the end. The kind of genie from the bottle type of thing.
Classic devils, very well.
Yeah, kind of classic staple of the abyssal kind.
Which means they are at least shrewd at obfuscating vital information, perhaps even under a zone of truth. Does anyone have any other questions? I believe my line of questioning is complete. No?
Now, do you have any hideouts or hangouts of the guild?
No, not particularly. I was sent after my infiltration within the city, and now I suppose what you would call an establishment for myself, or a place of living, would be the offices of the once Porphyry.
Okay, and one more thing. Do you have any badges, indicators that you work with the guild, any keys to places that you used to work with or whatever? Anything that you used on your old job?
He points and says, other than the names provided to you, the guild made sure to do a particularly good job in covering up their tracks. Besides a few nasty arm voraks, he says, kind of looking to you, Alloy and Monifa, seem to have sniffed me out.
Well then, if there's nothing else, boo with the gorilla cells pun. Get that.
It's not intentional, and it is correct. So don't start.
Father, may I, truthfully?
Oh God.
Yes.
Me as well.
Oh, a good brother after you first, please, man of the cloth.
Please, Cassius, come into the zone of truth and speak your words.
And Cassius can cast thaumaturgy to make his voice just a bit louder.
Or you could stay over there. Fine.
Can you hear me fine, demon?
Yes, it is very loud.
It's like,
Wonderful. What do you know of the involvement with the Golden Lady?
On what terms do you speak? Joaquin, are you asking?
Correct.
The people of this city serve her. Though if you're asking for a physical touch of her presence, I have yet to seen it here, though likely will not happen anytime soon within my presence.
Who do you serve?
The Resplendent.
Mm-hmm. How long have you known the Resplendent?
For a few days now.
That's actually good. I figured it was going to be longer.
Was your faction aware of her?
They were not. She has done a good job in keeping herself secreted away for the time being.
Interesting.
Well then, unless anybody has any last minute ones, I'm gonna lower.
Just the only thing I'm curious about here. What do you aspire to do with all your wealth, and where do you keep it?
The wealth was never truly mine. I took it from the hands of Porphyry. Now, under the watchful eye of the Lady Resplendent. I would hope to hold on to it until she is seated at the helm of this Bullionaire Bastion, leading Halcyon, and allow her to choose where it should go.
Before I drop Zone of Truth, I quickly wheel around to Karma. Karma, if you were to win the crown of Bastion, what would you do with it?
There's there's lots of things that I could do with it. I always kind of wanted to. No, I'm not gonna do that.
You're stalling.
Just, I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Father.
I can't hear you from all the way over there, Cassius. I'm afraid you'll have...
I cast message to him and say, I will allow you and only you one question in the Zone of Truth.
Before you ask Raphael, real quick, let me get a D10 roll from you, OBs, because Lazy just bought you a curio.
Ooh, neat.
Lucky number 11.
You have on your person a dragon's tooth scorched by flame. When held and activated, the curio conjures a non-magical weapon of your choice.
Oh, neat.
Badass.
I already have
Awesome.
to do that.
There you go. Sorry, go ahead, Raphael. Do you want to ask a question to Cassius?
I just look at Cassius and say, I'll save it. I want to make it count.
Oh no, a freebie for now.
Very well, then.
But it is for your ears only, my friend.
Fine, then. Same question. What would you do were you to gain control of the Bastion through our escapades here?
I assume you mean winning it all.
Indeed.
I would send it in a message to him, if you guys want to hear it or not.
That's up to you. You can privately message Luke, or you could just share your message through the group.
I'll send it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, message it.
All right. Secrets.
In the meantime, I think Karma's gonna blurt out, if I was like the king of everything here, I could do a lot of things, I could change a lot of things, but ultimately I'd probably leave. I hate this place.
All right, that's actually not what I expected.
If you are to leave, you should allow the Resplendent to take your place, Davra says.
Yeah, I try, I guess you can't lie, huh?
Nope. Well, you can try to resist.
But I know if you try to resist.
Nope, don't trust it.
Interesting. Thank you for your candor, Cassius. I drop Zone of Truth, and I quickly begin casting another spell.
Okay. What do you cast?
I cast Silence centered on Darvile.
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam on all of you. No. I cast Silence on Darvile and kind of just put a finger up, like if you would just give us a moment.
He does that thing where he looks at you, and you can see on his face that he realizes he can't hear anything, and then he puts a hand up to his ear and he just nods at you and just stands there in place.
All right. I turn around to the rest of them, the rest of the party, and just say, well, he is clearly an agent for the lady, and the lady has some honeyed words like summer wine. The thing about summer wine is it is often intoxicating and dangerous in high quantities. I think she's trying to get on our good side, and I do not trust her despite her well-seeming intentions.
Agreed.
Yes.
In fact, I am almost suspicious how closely her ideals seem to almost mirror my own, through a mirror darkly, one might say. Love is such a vague and slothful concept.
If I had a measure of her power, I would torch this man right now and send him right back as a pile of ash.
Your repeated attempts to get on my good side are noted.
He bows. Cassius, my friend, Cassius, please.
He serves as a fine witness for us.
Indeed. For the purposes of our... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The Bastion wishes to, yeah. You're good. You're good.
For the purposes of our mission, it is complete. I suppose for the time being, we could bring him in without smiting him.
He's watching you guys do like these movements of like smashing hammers down and like running your finger across each other's necks, and he's just looking like a puppy at you all.
Should you want a quiet place to keep him that he might not be able to just walk out of? I might know of a place.
Actually,
I think we should take him right away.
Actually, we arbitrate. Sorry, go ahead. Keep it up.
The Bastion, once we hand him over, they will take care of him. However they do.
Indeed.
Do we have an idea how they might take care of him?
Yeah, see?
Dezel had told you that they were going to bring him in for questioning.
Do we know?
Let him be their problem.
Do we know if they've got like a history of like keeping prisoners indefinitely, or I guess because
they-
we're trying to have access to him long term. Is that what your idea is, Luke?
No, I'm saying that he should be smote immediately after we're finished with him.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, well, Obese is done with it.
Well, point here, I think that if we do turn him in, it might be good for us to monitor what they do with him, because depending on... I mean, we don't know that we can trust the Bastion either.
Damn it all, that's a...
The Bastion could have a mole at that point. She might be able to hear, speak, and see through him at that point. She might have just infiltrated the Bastion easier, or the vice versa. They might have gotten their own little friend back, and he might be scoured clean.
Is he like okay with being turned in? Do we know this already?
Yeah, he was basically the Resplendent was like, take him as a gift, go question him, and he was happy to follow along with you guys.
We should have asked him if she could see through his eyes or spy somehow through him.
I think we should assume that.
Oh, okay.
I do.
He's a dirty rat.
Also, I suppose one thing I did not consider in my haste. If we destroy Darvile, the lady will almost certainly know, and any further correspondence with her will be met with distrust.
She cannot fault us for taking the bureaucratic way out, not the violent one.
I suppose so. It's against my nature, but yes.
He could just stay at one of our places or somewhere that we choose, and as a neutral territory.
I guess we could hold on to him here if that's what you think is best. No, upstairs.
Here?
Upstairs.
He could stay at my place easily.
He's got a lot of takers.
I think it unwise to keep.
I still think we should just hand him over to the Bastion.
I agree.
We have 3 for turning him over.
He's pulled out a nail file.
I want to keep tabs on him. I want to see what the Bastion does with him. I mean, even if he is, a mole or whatever, I mean, I want to see what they do.
Karma coin moves. Karma's a bitch from Queen Gore.
All right.
No.
Let me see here. That's gonna change things. Let me.
No.
Let me roll a D8. Bay, roll a D8.
Let's go to roll 20, and we're gonna.
I
roll
1,
20.
Raphael 2, Karma 3, Cass 4. What do you like the names here in the roll 20?
Did it roll?
Let me see. 6. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vip regains control of the karma coin.
See, I knew you liked me, Red. Thanks for giving me my coin
That's
back.
a stretch.
Just remember that you hold on to it now, Vip. You guys are welcome to use good karma or bad karma at any time for whatever reason you'd like.
I had a reason.
All right. Obi says karma makes a majority. Unless we have other business, move on. We take him to Bastion.
Very well.
You gonna drop the silence?
Yeah, I'll drop it if we're done talking dirty.
You drop it, and he looks up from filing his nails and slips it back underneath his.
Right, time to let you go. It's time to let you go. This is it for you, buddy.
Oh, I was under the impression you were taking me back to Bullionaire Bastion.
Don't be a smartass.
What? Hold on, I'm confused, Bailey. That is what we were planning on doing, is it not?
I'm with him.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. You got me too. Sorry.
So what do you guys do?
Do we cuff him? I mean, do we have to cuff him or what? Like, I mean, it's gonna look. Yeah, we gotta cuff him. We gotta make it look like we caught this thing. All right, listen. I need you to put. Do we have cuffs, Raphael? You gotta have cuffs, right?
I have some upstairs.
Normally, my business doesn't involve taking prisoners.
Yeah, I could probably whip up some real quick.
By the time you turn around, Obi's has got him in handcuffs and a hand on his shoulder.
Ah, yes.
I have best bodyguard in Halcyon.
The large ape man has already seen to my capture.
Cuffs, big guy.
Before we cuff you, sir, would you do me a favor, just so we have your information? Could you sign your name in my book?
Oh.
He's already cuffed.
Another campaign of this.
He does that thing where like he grabs your quill or pen, Cassius, and like kind of throws his hand to the side to just sign in the book. It's pretty sloppy, but he does sign his name, Darvile, and gives you the pen back.
Hey, don't write over my signature. It's important that mine's on the top. I signed it first.
But I made sure there was plenty of space.
Thank you. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
It's the best warlock feature.
So much fun.
So, out of character question. I was typing notes at the time. Who sent us the letter to meet at the Dapper Devil?
Dazel.
That was Dazel. Okay.
Sounds like that's where we're going then.
Yeah, okay.
We drop this guy off.
Amanda, roll a d4 because Queen Gore just gave you another buoyant package.
Damn it.
Lucky daughter.
I'm bleeding bullion. Somebody give me something.
Right?
Add that to your totals. Here, let's just jump over there real quick and add it. I'll do it here off screen and just put it in your totals here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I lost and gained nothing this week. It's perfectly fine.
Who lost the most?
I did by far, I think. Me and Vit.
Yeah, I crashed.
I came ahead by 1.
Who?
Me. I went to 11.
Thank you, Queen Gore.
Yeah, thank you, Queen Gore.
Thank you, Queen Gore. I only say that because I know her in real life. It's fine.
Thank you.
Should we rough him up? I think we should rough him up.
I mean, we don't have to. I was intending to just tell them that he decided to cooperate.
There's no need
We
for
can be very
physical
persuasive.
violence. I am fine. I am attached using these cuffs from your friend, and will sit in this workshop and await for the arrival of either you or Bullionaire Bastion to take me.
Oh, I thought we were gonna take him with us. Yeah, we're taking him with us.
Oh, then I will accompany you, he says, standing back
We're
up.
gonna take him with us.
Let's go leave him.
When you're here, your family. Let's go.
Oh no.
Obi's puts a cloak that he's carrying across his head so it covers the handcuffs. Just looks like he's carrying a coat like a weirdo.
He stops before you guys exit the workshop as Alloy opens the front entrance and says, "Oh, just a second." And with a whip of his hands, you see him shift back into the form of the Eidolon Porphyry. There we go.
Very good.
Do I get an idea watching him do that he could just slip out of these handcuffs?
Difficult to tell with the coat covering them.
All right.
You can make a check, but at disadvantage.
Yeah, all right. I'll do that.
Okay.
What do you got? Perception check?
Perception, I would even take maybe an investigation probably would work. Insight would work.
You said my eyes. I'm going with my eyes.
Fair enough.
Special. Nope.
Give me one more roll.
That was not the right button. I can't read yet.
Oh, okay.
Please. Perception.
They're pretty close in terms of spelling. It's easy to get them confused.
Disadvantage. So the way that my psi powers work is if I fail with the 15, I can choose to use one of my psi dice to make it a 18.
So I would tell you if you normally fail.
Does the 15 pass?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. No psi dice expended.
You see him flick his hands up just to cast the spell in terms of disguising himself. Whether or not it's easy for him to work his hands out of the cuffs, it looks like he may be able to do it, but he would certainly have to be active in trying to work his hands out to do it. He wouldn't be able to do it particularly stealthily.
So it's like a disguise self kind of spell? It's not like a morphing body spell, not like a druid-shaped spell?
Nope. It seems as though a bit of illusion in terms of disguise self.
All right, I feel all right then.
He continues walking along.
OVs will follow one person behind him.
Oh, I will absolutely walk with sword at the ready.
Okay, so where do you guys go?
The Devil's Due Diligence Diner, Dapper Devil Diner.
Okay.
Applebee's.
Let's take a quick 3-minute break so I can go pee pee.
3 minutes?
And
How
then
exotic.
we'll come back. We'll be right back, guys.
BRB.
Some fucking wise guy over here.
I'm kind of clown.
Funny like funny looking? You think funny looking, huh?
What are you laughing at?
You guys decided not to leave Darvile in the workshop and take him with you. You step out onto the crowded streets of the top side of Halcyon. You know that to get to the Dapper Devil restaurant, based on the instructions in each of your letter parchments, you'll have to use one of the turnstiles here to effectively switch between topside and the below city Lux. And once on Lux, you'll just need to follow the directions through the streets provided to you to reach the Dapper Devil. So, do you want to begin heading that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys continue along. Obies, you're the one who sort of is like keeping a close eye on Pofrey. Or Pofrey quotation marks.
I'm gonna let that to Raph, who's standing behind him. I'm gonna watch anybody trying to approach. I'm on the lookout, seeing if somebody's gonna try and come and kidnap our man. Or kill him, something like that. He's on the ready.
There is... Oh, go ahead, son.
No, I said it might be me.
An easy fix then.
There's lots of chatter and business up here on topside as various merchants, Wakinar, nobles, perhaps even princes, as well as the occasional gold eye surveying the streets around as you guys pass. You eventually make it to one of the turnstiles, which is just a small looking dome sphere that is actually built into the ground a couple feet, and as you step inside through a set of double doors, the turnstile sits. It is disc shaped and large enough to fit all of you and likely probably a couple more people, up to 10. And there is a large lever on the side. Many of you have already rid these before. This is just how you guys pass through the center of gravity on Halcyon to reach the other side. As you grip the lever and give it a pull, the large dial circular platform begins to lower and continues lowering as you hear the cranking of gears. And as it begins to lower, likely passing through the level towards the center of where the bustling foundry is found, it begins to shift and turn. There's that moment of hesitation, some of your stomachs turn, but as it continues to shift, none of you fall because you're passing through the center of gravity. And you just watch as the dial of this platform completely turns upside down. But now, as you all feel, right side up, as it now lifts up and up, stopping at a turn at the turnstile here on Lux. You all step off of the platform, and as you open the double doors out of this domed area into the streets of Lux, it is different here, slightly less of a loud sound of multiple people, and more of a sound of the general carousal of different people moving through the darkened streets here. There is no artificial sun lighting up this spot, so it is just the general ambience of both the starlight as well as a number of different pieces of lighting, whether it's torch, candlelight, etc. Perhaps even some arcane devices to serve as lamps that are in the area here as that make up the streets.
Nice.
You guys continue to push on. You head down a dark, winding street, a couple of them of the Lux area here. The sound of cheer and ambient sounds of music can be heard from all around. After a few turns, you guys reach an area where the streets open up to a large restaurant decorated with red candlelight. A steel silhouette of a devilish figure laying atop the Dapper Devil sign that hangs from above a double-doored entrance. What do you do?
What a ghastly name for a restaurant.
Oh, it's fun. It's a theme.
The theme is debauchery, fun.
The best kind.
Oh, now you're getting it.
Does sound fun.
Let's go in. I'm gonna happily go in.
Okay.
I
Karma
will as well.
pushes in, yeah. As you push through the double doors, Carmen, those following, inside is a luxurious diner scene. Dark, moody lighting accentuating the area here over the sound of silverware and hushed conversation between well-dressed patrons. A tiefling in a silver dress stands nearby a podium close to the entrance. Watching as you step in, she takes a look at her reservation list before looking back up. Oh, greetings. Your colleague is waiting for you in the private dining room. If you would please follow me, she says.
Thank you. Look, it's.
The hostess turns and leads you all into a comfortable looking room. A large dinner table awaiting you. Sitting at the far end is Dazel, who nods at your arrival. Dwarven servers step up, placing a few cover platters on the table before revealing their contents. Let me move Dazel over here real quick. As they reveal the platters, you guys see underneath a few of them things like roasted hazelnuts and fresh apples with a strip of bear jerky and a wedge of ripe cheese. Underneath another one is a pastry-wrapped goat on a bed of battered fried green beans, served with donuts and scrambled quail eggs.
Oh.
Another one is a giant crayfish tail sautéed in butter with what the server calls abyssal peppers and a side of thinly sliced drake steak and oysters.
Decadence.
Finally, at Dazel's spot, revealing a platter for them, is a large roasted swine that lays on a platter covered in greens. As they finish opening their platters and revealing them to you, as well as pouring you each what looks like a fine bit of drink, everyone besides you all who, I'm assuming, take your seats at the table here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sit down last.
Everyone besides those who are seated here at the table leave through the wooden double doors at the far end of the room, quietly closing them as they go. Dazel turns to look at you all, as well as Darvile, and says, "Thank you for meeting me here on such a short notice. There was an important matter that I needed to discuss with each of you before you all complete your first assignment. I hope you don't mind if I dispense with the formalities and dig in here," they say.
Did she react at all to like Darvile showing up with us? Well, the disguised as the other person. Like, is there any sort of like weird reaction she has?
You can make a check if you want.
I'll insight that.
What to?
Can do that on D&D Beyond. That's a thing.
Hold on.
Yeah.
God, being a bard fucking rules. Oh my god. Why do I?
See?
Fuck.
Right.
You...
Shit.
I mean, most of you did pretty well there. Raphael, Vip, and Monifa. Each of you guys saw just the very subtle shift up of an eyebrow, as if a look of interest seeing Darvile sit down, as Dazel turns back to you all. You all begin to watch after Dazel mentions to you of dispensing of the formalities and digging in. Dazel's face begins to contort, the skin pulling back tightly and then bulging and sagging down the sides. Their skin color brightens from a dark tone to a flushed pink. Their mouth forms a grin that stretches across their face, teeth becoming sharp and jagged. Small horns adorn their head as their eyes begin to shrink and shrivel within their skull. Hang on just a second. A large paunch forms as their body expands. Two small bat-like wings expand from their back.
What the fuck?
And I will show you the transformation here.
It's that thing from Earthbound 3, that giant cat.
Can I do some kind of check on this thing?
Hang on just a second.
Oh no, that's Krang from the Ninja Turtles.
There we go. I
God.
message you, Karma. In the air, as you each sit nearby, there is a distinctly pungent smell that wafts through the area. An odorous and almost choking perfume pervades your senses. Dazel's form is replaced with a devilish creature with a toothy grin. Looking to each of you and smiling, the creature says,
Whew! I cannot tell you how famished I am. All this busy work really takes it out of a woman, you know.
Yeah.
And as they say this, they just grab the large dead swine up and just dig their mouth into it, pulling back.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're gonna religion check this thing because that ain't right.
Guidance.
1d4.
Whoa.
Ooh, 17.
You got something little right here.
The purple things are also buttons if you guys click them when they come up.
Oh, yeah.
Smash.
What are you, fiend? What have you done with Dazel? Or was there ever a Dazel to begin with?
As you study the form of this creature, Raphael, trying to make sense of exactly what it may be. Monifa, was that roll for?
Oh no, I was just. Don't pay attention.
They were testing the button.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. This looks as though it is similar in physique and shape, Raphael, to a fiend, more specifically a devil, called an amnesu.
Okay.
That have a relatively high stature in the abyssal planes, although this one seems to have some very eccentric features that seem to separate it out from those.
Can I make just like a perception check on like the rest of the place? And is anybody like acting weird or?
You can make that perception check, but just know you guys are in a private room, so no one else sees this.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm good then.
Okay. Looking up to kind of meet eyes with each of you guys. Hang on just a second here. The figure looks to each of you.
Well, go on. Don't be peckish. Dig in.
I will touch none of this food. You will explain yourself at once.
Well, may I ask what your name is?
Oh, God.
The name is Lom, and I run the Scorching Quill, or the family, as some prefer to call it.
Oh.
What's your names?
Cassius Auditor, and I'm gonna telekinetically lift the plate and slide it over to them. Please.
A fine young-looking man. And how about the rest of you all?
My name's Alloy. Is there any chicken on the table?
I mean, I'm gonna eat as well.
That's an honest question. Is there any chicken?
There likely is somewhere a nice chicken thigh for each of you.
He grabs chicken.
It is very well cooked and tastes delicious as you guys dig in.
The great things about this place. My name is Monifa.
Ah, Tabaxi. Nice to meet you, Furballs.
Karma is taking a big gulp of wine or whatever alcoholic drink is at her side.
It's that fucking Jesse gift from Breaking Bad where he's just like, oh, God.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to all share at once.
You'll get no name from me. All you need to know is I am an instrument of the light fiend. I take out some adventure bread from my pocket and start eating it rather than anything on the table.
Oh, don't mind him. He's just a little wound up, that's all.
He doesn't know how to have any fun.
Well, that's his loss.
Sorry, go ahead.
Look. Before you go writing me off as part of the guild, I'll have you know that the Quill sure as hell ain't affiliated. Not anymore. The Scorching Quill was something different. You see, the guild is largely made up of demons. There's some idiot devils, sure, but we don't associate with them. The Quill is all devils, and we made it our job to work against the guild. Let me ask you, this Dazzle person, how much did they share about the guild?
Very little. We know that they are a demonic influence that seeks to usurp key members in the Bastion.
I had a feeling the information would be scarce. I've been making it a point to keep myself abreast of what the Bastion was planning to do in order to quell the guild. I, like them, have a couple people in a few places. And it sure sounds like the Bastion is in over their heads. They don't know the half of it. You see, Bastion, you have to understand the difference between us devils and the demons. And neither of us are exactly the saintly type. But the demons of the guild want chaos. They plan to overturn this city with rampant hellfire and destruction. Go ahead, ask your friend here.
Lom says, pointing over at Darvile.
Oh shit, called out.
Cool. Oh.
What does he speak of, Darvile?
It is true. We do not get along, the two of us. In fact, we are enemies.
So who? Okay. No, that makes sense.
We devils, on the other hand, besides the demons, we want order. To preserve the status quo. We want the Bastion to continue to keep the wheels of this city turning. Look at us right now, sitting in peace, able to eat a fabulous meal despite our differences, striping up a potential deal in the process. That's the beauty of Halcyon.
A deal? What do you mean?
You gotta understand, the two of us have been engaged in a centuries-old blood war in the Abyss. This guy is probably familiar with it.
She says, pointing over at you, Raphael.
Quite so. Two evils fighting against one another.
We know the guild and their mindset much better than the Bullionaires ever could. We know their faces. We know their shortcuts through the city. We know what resources they're working with. What I'm angling at is that if you just go and blindly follow the Bastion's orders to remove the guild's demons, it won't stop the problem. Not in the long term. You need the experience of the Quill to lend you a hand. Let's say you find me repugnant. You dislike the idea of working with the devil to get things back on track so you can keep blindly playing along with the Bastion. Without my knowledge, you wouldn't know that the guild takes anybody and everybody's soul after their bodies are minted. You wouldn't know that they're using the souls to amass a demonic invasion force.
That's pretty big information, actually.
Yeah. That was the one thing we didn't know what they were doing it for.
And you wouldn't know that I am aware of many of the structural weak points that an invasionary force like that would try to bypass to get into this city. You may rid the bastion of its demons. But for how long? Then what? The guild takes over? The city burns? Trade and commerce throughout the Twixt is brought to a screeching halt? When the money stops flowing, the goods stop flowing, and then people start to suffer. Are you willing to let that happen?
Wheels turn, on and on. The stars are always in the sky.
It seems to me that a few of us didn't have much of a choice in the matter, my friend.
You always have a choice.
That's a damn lie, and you know it.
No, actually I don't. Look, don't take my word for it. Ask the chump here. We hate each other. You've likely already asked him a few questions.
Couple.
One or two.
Do you know the name? I repeat one of the names that he gave us. He said he is one of them.
I'm gonna make a high or low roll here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh?
That's very
Can I
high.
use my bardic inspiration to let them take away? I'm just kidding. But seriously, if I can.
What?
I'm just kidding, or am I?
To do what?
Unless it works. I want you guys to know.
Lom leans back and says,
"Oh yeah, of course."
And Lom goes on to list 2 or so other names that are on that list.
Associated with him.
Oh.
You say they're taking souls to amass an army.
That's correct.
Are they working with the Bastion directly?
If you're trying to say the two are working together hand in hand, no, of course not. This would be a massive detriment if the Bastion found out that somehow their coin was going to be traded by the currency of souls. As well as the entire city being destroyed.
Do you know where this is happening? Is this like a designation that all of this happens in one place, or is it like scattered?
Oh, honey, it's taking place all over the city.
Well, do you have some hot spots you can give us?
Information doesn't come free now.
I mean, what do you want? Gold? We got gold.
If you'll excuse me, I've lost my appetite. And Raphael stands up and leaves the table.
Where does Raphael go?
Raphael goes outside and prays.
As you step out of the private room walking through, you notice all of the patrons watching as you leave.
Oh, I don't like that, but I definitely take note of it.
It is very quiet out in the main walkthrough as you step back outside. And you go to pray. Anything particular you're trying to pray to Paylor?
Oh no, just saying my fantasy analog Hail Marys for
Okay.
breaking bread with the devil.
Lom watches as Raphael leaves and then turns to the rest of you.
Look, even if you share the info about me with the Bastion, you could poke and prod this guy for info. What are they gonna do? The guild has laid in the shadows since this city's inception. You really think they just magically now have the means to stop them? The Bullionaire Bastion have swagger, sure, a confidence that I myself can appreciate. But it's all a facade. They're in over their head. And I can prove it to you with one simple question. How much are they paying you?
Well, they're paying us in... Oh, what? What are we getting outside of the bullion? Anything?
Only the currency of a promised future. Investments. They have given us gold to invest.
And I have to imagine it ain't no small sum.
It is a princely sum before the investments, yes.
I see. You see, you may smell the opportunity, but I smell desperation. Word on the street is that the old Gilderkins aren't planning on coming back. And if they've flown the coop, you all know things are bad. So, here's why I brought you to dinner in the first place. The Scorching Quill is offering to help. We know this city as well as Bastion does, and we know they're sending you on assignments to sniff out these demons, and then send them a nice mental telegram using one of their arbitration rooms, of Bastion's old tricks just with fresh faces. So, when you finish these little tasks from them, and you go to the arbitration, I want you to think of this beautiful smile instead,
she says as she gives a toothy grin.
Oh, it is ingrained inside of my mind.
Clue me in that you wrapped up things, and when the Bastion goes to replace that demon, we'll in turn replace that Bullionaire member with a devil of our own. No fuss, no mess, we're professionals. If I can get enough of the quill entrenched in the Bastion, we can work towards ensuring that the guild no longer has a lasting hold over this city. Owen.
Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, I get it. I mean, I want a message. Oh fuck, he's not here.
Yep.
Would you need to see him to message him?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
You,
okay.
You gotta cast sending if you can't see me.
I don't even know if I have that. Let me see.
I did not take that.
Carry on. I'm gonna look at my spell book.
Lom looks across you all and says,
Don't think I won't sweeten the pot for your loyalties either. Bastion may be offering you oodles of dough, but there are some things in life that money can't buy.
You
Name
watch
it.
as her eyes light up with you saying this, Cassius, and they light up with a scintillating pink brilliance. And she says,
Desires for freedom, for piety, and for others similar to yourself.
her eyes fade with the pink color.
Bargaining what you've taken against what you're willing to give back. Interesting.
I do an Arcana check on that pink.
Sure.
Shut up, Kevin.
Nice.
What is my Arcana? Let's see. Sorry, it's weird. Skills. Arcana is a +2. Doing this on a phone. Yada yada yada. Let's see. I rolled 20. Did I roll?
Yeah, 11 total.
Oh. All
Plus
right.
2, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I used my. No, it's been more than 10 minutes, huh? Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
You aren't able to pick up a lot other than the fact that there was almost a sense that she was reading something about each of you, as she seemed to look across you as she said some of these things.
Just make a note that I'm not here.
Except for Raphael.
I'm gonna sending Raphael.
Oh, you know
this-
sending.
I do.
Oh.
You know, Father, this devil's got pretty good points.
The words of a devil are always ostensibly good points at first. That's how they tempt you.
The lady did the same thing to us.
Indeed, and I do not trust her either. At least with the devil, I know I can't trust them outright.
Lom turns back.
Look, I'm a whole lot of woman, and I can give you things the Bastion can only dream of with my connections. Hell, I'll even let you be the face of the Bastion in the end if you wanted, just as long as I get to still pull some strings to keep things running orderly. So here's the deets. When you go for this arbitration, think of vivacious law. In return, I'll even help you shift a couple numbers around legally in the marketplace, making sure any of your Bullionaire Bastion investments you have continue to do well, if you know what I'm saying.
She is basically implying that by choosing her at arbitration, you can also ask to raise any business's value by one.
I see what this game is, Jason. I see this game that you have laid out for us. Tricky.
Lom
love
continues
this.
eating and then looks up and says,
Now, you're welcome to enjoy your dinners and finish up. I'm sure the Bastion's gonna eventually want to contact you, waiting to assign you your next task. Just remember, keep our little meeting a secret, huh? No need to go spouting this out, especially if the guild gets word that we talked. That could threaten all of us. Any other lasting questions?
Seeing as my appetite still hasn't returned to me for quite some time, I have one final question before you.
Go on.
The Golden Lady.
Oh, that's a good question to ask, actually. I like that.
Do you happen to, well, you know her presence is still here. How deep in are you with her?
Well, we don't exactly serve the lady, but, trading coin and doing our deals is definitely something that benefits us, so we're happy that the people can continue on the surface, worshiping her if they so choose.
Well, I think that's enough for me. I think I'll be seeing my way out. A pleasure, I'm sure.
It was really nice to speak with you, Cass, as well as each of the rest of you. If for whatever reason you need to contact me, all you gotta do is use this.
and she pulls out a small stone-like shaped object, round and reflective of the lighting, of the ambient lighting in here, and pushes it over to you. It's a mix of what looks like black marble and gold accents.
Ooh.
Just hold this and call for me, and I could maybe arrange a meeting if I have the openings. Just don't lose it.
Karma will grab it.
Okay.
Unless Monifa's got sticky cat fingers.
I mean, I was going to take it.
Okay, yep, go for it.
I like the way they speak.
Oh, look at that. You're sold.
I'll just hold on to this. Thank you.
So if we, if we need to contact you, we just use the stone.
Yeah.
You got any important, if we're gonna scratch your back, you're gonna scratch ours. Do you happen to have, no, information's not free with you. Oh man, it's a little hard dealing with that.
What you want to know, darling?
Yeah. Demon hideouts, right?
There's a lot of them, yeah.
Any particular places, like hotspots?
There's a number of them. Supposing I give you the information, what are you gonna do? Share it with the Bastion? Because I can promise you, they'll fuck it up.
Well, I mean...
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
You might not have to share it.
I want it. I just want it, okay? It's valuable information, especially for people like us.
A scratch your back, you scratch mine type of deal.
What do you want?
Arbitrate for me when the time comes. Then I may share a couple places.
I'll think about it.
Perfect.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say thanks for the wine.
There's just a lingering grin towards you, Karma, with Lom, before she turns, finishing up the last bit of her hog.
don't know. I don't know what to do with that grin. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna message her. You got something to say?
Huh? I'm gonna whisper you again, Karma.
Ooh. Nice.
I don't know how to. Okay.
All right. There's a look towards you, Karma. And then back down at her meal, finishing off one of the legs. There's the sound of clinking porcelain underneath as she tosses the bone back on plate.
Karma is slowly going to turn around, look at Opie's, look at the door, grab a bottle of wine, and walk out.
All right. What about the rest of you?
Yeah, Obies can follow a hint. He stands up and takes Darville with him. Hurries him up if he needs to.
Cass was already on his way out.
Manifa stands. Thank you for the meal. It was delicious, and the information as well.
Oh, darling, it was no problem. Just remember what I said, and when it comes time, not just money, but a lot of things on offer. And I'll make sure to grease the wheels of the city and keep her running just as beautiful as ever.
The sound of it. And I walk out.
As each of you are walking out, the restaurant is as it was before when you first entered. Most people over hushed conversation, the quiet ambient sound of regal music playing in the background, and you step outside to find Raphael there.
He looks very stern, and he looks to all. Did any of you make any deals, sign anything, verbal contracts, anything of the like?
I have to apologize, my friend.
Obies pushes Darville down the alley and says, "We talk while we move."
Oh, okay, of course. I can keep walking.
Where are we going now? Sorry.
To Bastion.
Okay.
It's actually to actual Bastion.
You guys know that your next action, because you are on a contact basis from them first, that you need to let them know that your mission is complete. So you need to go to the arbitration room.
Well, sorry, Cassius just apologized for something and didn't say what, and I wouldn't let that lie.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were moving on.
Oh, got it.
Doing it.
Moving forward. Yeah, walk and talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We found out some information, and we had to offer you up in return.
I don't need to look into your soul to know that this is a jest. Surely you would not give up one as quite as righteous as me so easily. Your jokes are quite funny, Cassius.
Cassius.
Yes, Cassius.
Oh, I see.
At any rate, you are deflecting. None of you made any deals, correct? And Raphael's like turning and walking in front of the group, like walking backwards, you know? Like just like doing like an accusatory like point at everyone.
Never made any explicit deals, no.
Explicit and implied are just as devious.
For someone who is as untrustworthy as you left the whole group of us in a room with the devil. What were you doing outside?
Praying to the Sun Lord, of course.
Mm.
I broke
What did he
bread.
say?
I broke bread with the devil. This is a cardinal sin. I must atone for such.
I witness no deals, Obi says flatly.
Perhaps. But you can never trust a devil. I'm sure it offered you many, many promises of power. You must refuse all of them.
Like the resplendent one, he offered us a lot of power. The same power that the resplendent one. But
indeed,
obviously for his allegiance.
I know that you are all uncouth sinners, so it may not come to you easily, but you must continue to walk the path. Do not be tempted or swayed by offers of a quick and easy solution to your problems. So saith the Sun Lord, let's go.
I don't mean to interrupt, Darvile says, but just pointing out that following the path of the Bastion would just be mere greed. If you're looking to follow the righteous path, it would be through the Resplendent.
Oh, but of course, Darvile, but of course.
Hey, Father, do you happen to have any more of those spells you cast earlier?
Which do you mean?
The one that hushes and silences.
Yes, I happen to have one more of those up my sleeve, in fact.
Okay, if I hear any more of that righteous bullshit from him, please, feel free.
I don't trust you, Cassius.
Why,
I want to make
you.
that exceedingly clear.
As you shouldn't, my friend, as you shouldn't.
Very well. Where are we going again, OBs?
Bastion.
Well, yeah, to the arbitration or whatever.
Raphael realized he was walking in front of the group without realizing where we were actually supposed to be going.
Obis looks up and says, "Here."
Yes, of course, I knew that.
Yeah, so what was the method of contacting them? Just shout into the ether?
You were to go to the Joaquin Shrine that they provided the location to you for, and using the shrine, placing your Bullionaire badge on the palm, would reveal a secret room where an arcane device is, and you can arbitrate by contacting mentally the Bullionaire Bastion.
Yeah.
Or you could instead contact the Resplendent or Lom.
Are we all doing this separately?
From what Dazel told you, you can all go to the shrine, but only one can enter at a time. The entire ground is hallowed, so it has a permanent silence spell cast over it. So you enter, place your Bullionaire badge on the statue that opens up the room, and you go in, place a hand on the arcane device, and simply the surface level thoughts of who you're thinking about will contact either Bullionaire Bastion or perhaps someone else.
It's like an ATM for your brain.
Are you guys heading that way?
Yeah, we made as much of that trip as we could in that conversation time.
As you follow along with the location designated by Dazel to you, with your first meeting with him, the streets here are relatively abandoned. With most of the lamps out, only starlight gives this area a soft, dim radiance. As you enter into a separate open space, you notice a tall marble shrine that sits alone in the corner of a quiet square. The ambient carousal that echoes for most of Lux slowly fades as you approach the shrine's two large marble doors. As you each reach the doors, you recall Dazel's orders to step in one at a time, placing your badges on the outstretched palm of the Joaquin statue in order to enter the secret room for arbitration.
Now everyone just remember, just because one is saying things like love and righteousness doesn't necessarily mean that she's on the people's side.
Agreed.
And sometimes fighting fire with fire does actually work.
Disagree.
Just keep in mind. Everyone's trying to use everyone.
Agree.
So?
Karma's gonna put her hand on whatever she needs to put her hand on.
Karma, you step into the shrine area first?
Yep.
As you step in by yourself into the shrine, pushing through the double doors, you enter into a small worship space with 2 rows of pews at the front. Further in towards the back wall, hidden in the shadows, lit only by torn open spaces in the roofing where the rays of starlight pierce through, is a tall statue of the visage of Joaquin. She stands some 9-10 feet tall. A basin surrounds her at the base of the statue with a 3-foot tall marble perimeter. Her form a mixture of stone, marble, and gold. Her hair flowing and luxurious. A solemn and stern look on her frozen face. One arm reaches out, palm open, ready to take the offerings of her worshippers, the Wakinar. The air here is crisp and cool, and no sound can be heard. Not even your footsteps. As you step towards the wall of the basin at your feet, you can see a few gold pieces already sitting in her hand. All the other offerings fill the bottom of the basin. Everything from coin to jewelry and stones lay at her feet as a gift to her holiness.
So this is just the room that Karma's in, right?
You guys can see bits and pieces of this, but it's pretty darkly lit inside, so you can kind of see some pews and maybe the very subtle silhouette of the statue towards the back, and you kind of just see Karma's form begin to kind of mix with the shadows as she steps inside as you guys are waiting outside. So Karma, what do you do?
I'm gonna do the thing.
As you slip out your Bullionaire Bastion badge and place it onto her palm, you hear no noise, but as you look past her, the marble wall behind her begins to shift inaudibly, revealing behind a small hidden room. As the marble finishes shifting, clouds of dust form from its activity, and you can see into the hidden room. It is featureless beyond a raised centerpiece in the middle of the room. It stands at about chest level, made from dark marble and gold. At the bottom, a golden curved crest. Above it, in its center, a floating golden orb. Despite there being no sound here, a word solidifies in your mind as you near the arcane device. The Eye of the Arbiter. And hang on just a second. I may have to... There we go. Karma, it is time for arbitration. But before you tell me your decision, as I mentioned in our rules before our game began, I'm going to be taking you into the other chat so you can tell me privately.
All right.
So you guys can watch
or something. This is cool.
You can watch the stream if you want, but I would beg that you don't, just to keep it fun.
Don't watch the stream.
Yeah,
don't be a fucking scab.
So.
They call that a stream segment, and it's cheap.
All right, so hang on just a second. I'll kick some music on, and then I'll switch the streams here.
It's cheap like Monifa's perfume.
Oh.
Excuse nothing about Monifa is cheap. Thank you.
Oh.
Hey,
Expensive.
Babe,
her
join
stinky
me.
Perfume.
Join me in the lounge, please. All right, Karma.
Test.
Test.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
So I think, hang on, let me turn my video back on. That was weird. Oh yeah, we switched. Never mind. Karma.
Yes.
As you place your hand on the orb, which of the three factions do you choose going forward?
Well, the one that I'm tied to.
Okay, you choose the Scorching Quill.
I do.
As you do that, you have the opportunity to choose, and I'm going to let you put your bullion pieces wherever you want to put them. But first, is there any of the three businesses that you'd like to increase its value to potentially make a bigger win at the end of the next exchange round?
What's most of Obi's pieces on at the moment?
Let me check really quickly here.
Oh, go ahead.
He has put... Obi's has put most of his stuff into voidistries, and... Actually, no. He's put most of it into Omega Acoustics, and a good amount of it into voidistries.
I want to make the Omega Acoustics go up.
Okay. You have 6 shares in each, so no matter what you put it in, could potentially give you a boost. So you are changing this number I'm going to secretly change it here while they're all in the other room. All right. You have done the thing, Karma. Are you ready to step out of the room, feeling the sensation of you having contacted who you need to contact and leaving?
Yes.
All right. So let's go back into the other chat.
Bad guys. They're the demons.
Okay.
Karma steps out of the shrine.
I
was eerily silent there. Oh. Don't talk to me. In your face. You go on in. Go on in. Don't
Fine.
Talk to me.
I will.
Cass walks in.
While we're arguing.
Push you out the way.
That's pretty good.
Cassius, you step inside the shrine. All of those things that I read for you guys while Karma steps in takes place. And you find yourself in the arbitration room. Please join me in the other chat.
Daddy time.
All right.
What's
So,
up?
as you place your palm onto the device, which of the three factions does Cassius choose to give his vote in moving forward?
Walks in. He's going to take 100 gold out of his pocket and place it in the Shrine of Joaquin.
Okay.
And ask for guidance from her. See if not this time, maybe in the future he might get a inkling of what maybe a guidance from her as to a more proper path.
You say this in your mind and wait, but hear nothing back this time.
I just shine the coin at the end of my neck and nod and say, my own choice to dig myself out of this, of course. The devils were taking the souls. The resplendent is crazy, and the demons were involved with the Bastion. Correct.
The demons are the guild. They have infiltrated the Bastion, and they are the ones that the devil Lom said were taking the souls.
That's tough. I don't think there's a right answer here.
Almost as if it was purposefully made that way. What would Cassius choose?
Is there a abstain option?
There is not. You are willingly taking on this quest.
The demons are taking the souls. I'd have to go with the devils then, but I wouldn't want to. Fuck.
If you could only choose one.
Oh, I was gonna back the Bastion. I thought that was an option. I wanted to back the Bastion to see if
you
they
can.
could help.
You're working for them. The default would be the Bastion. You just have these two other options now.
And the Bastion is being infiltrated by the demons, though, but the Bastion's trying to gain control again.
Yeah, they want to gain control so they can continue making tons and tons of money.
A default until anything else happens. Should I not be here for any session or the world comes to an end, he votes with the Bastion nonstop.
Okay. So you mentally feel the essence of the Bastion thought reaching your mind. And with that, you feel as though you've sent your message and can step back outside. Let's go back into the other chat.
Will do.
So, all right. You guys watch as Cassius steps out of the shrine.
I will go in. This time,
Yeah.
I'm going.
Good.
All right, Raphael, join me in the other room, please. Raphael, you step in and see the shrine up above, and past it you see the hidden room where the Eye of the Arbiter waits for you to place your hand on it and make your decision.
I do that, and for the time being, I think I am curious enough about the lady to actually choose to think of the lady. Raphael still does not trust her or her intentions, and is convinced she has an ulterior motive or is hiding something. But to learn more of that, he needs to understand her more.
Okay.
So he is going to choose her.
You make your vote for the Resplendent. You also remember with a thought that if you wished to choose, you could lower the value of one of the three different businesses that you guys have placed your investments in. Did you
hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. Of course. We're playing a game. Of course I am. I can't see the page right now, unfortunately, because everyone's on the arbitration.
I'm gonna switch over so you can see it.
The acoustics one. I'm gonna lower that one.
Lowering that by 1 value?
Yeah.
Okay. You ask, sending a mental message to the Resplendent to use those converts that she has in the company of Omega Acoustics to make a charitable donation, lowering the value of Omega Acoustics by 1.
Indeed.
And with that, you have made your message and are ready to step back out of the temple. And you will join the other chat.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Raphael steps out of the shrine.
I'm just gonna look at him judgmentally.
Why? Why are you looking at me so?
I'll go next.
All right, Monifa. Sorry, guys, in the stream. I'm switching channels here, so you're not going to see pictures of people until we finish here. So, Monifa, you step inside if you would join me in the other room. Monifa, as you step inside the shrine, you see the statue of the Joaquin goddess, and behind it, the open door that leads to the arbitration room. As you step inside, you see the device. As you place a hand on it, you feel as though you can send a message to the Bastion, the Default, or these two other factions of the Resplendent or the Scorching Quill. Which do you choose?
Quill.
The Scorching Quill?
Mm-hmm.
As you vote for the Scorching Quill, you also remember the thought that you could send to them, that if you so wish, you can choose one of the 3 businesses you have some of your investments in to increase its value by 1.
Omega Acoustics.
All right, so you increase that value by 1?
Yep.
All right, you do so and feel as though your message was heard, and we can step back out. You guys watch as Monifa leaves the shrine.
Eugalos are a Central European country.
No, that's not true. I'm from Yugoslav. Sorry.
I'll go in next.
Alloy, you enter. Let's join the other chat then.
Monifa walks out.
Alloy, as you step inside, you see the familiar statue of the visage of Joaquin, and behind it, the open secret door that leads to the smaller hidden room. Therein is the magic device, the Eye of the Arbiter, and placing your hand on it, you know that by default, you could vote for the Bastion to let them know your current assignment is done, or you could also potentially inform the Scorching Quill or the Resplendent. Which do you choose?
Who am I talking to? Does that make sense? Or am I deciding who I'm talking to?
Basically, you're not speaking in this area because there's a silent spell, so there's no sound.
Okay.
You're just placing your hand on whatever surface level thoughts that you're thinking is going to contact them. And you're not even really speaking with them. You're just sending them a message like, hey, I'm choosing you that I want to move forward with this.
Okay. I will vote for Bullion.
All right, you choose Bullionaire Bastion.
Yeah.
You do this, and as you finish, you feel as though your message was heard and can step back out. Let's join the other chat.
Cool.
Alloy steps out of the shrine.
Oh, there's that little kitty.
Who's left?
You, big guy. And the pixie. The tiny guy.
They just only me because not me last.
Oh, not you last. All right.
Me last.
Okay.
Sounds like it's your turn.
Pixie boy.
All right. Vip will go vote.
Vip, you head inside the shrine. Let's go into the other chat. Vip, as you fly in, you see the statue of the Joaquin goddess, and behind it, the hidden room where the Eye of the Arbiter, this arcane device, lay. As you close in, you feel as though placing a hand on it, you can allow yourself to think of the surface level thoughts of, by default, the Bastion, but now you have 2 other options, The Scorching Quill or the Resplendent? Which one do you choose?
Bastion, please.
You choose Bullionaire Bastion and feel as though your message is heard, taking your hand back off of the pedestal. With that, your mission done. You can head back out if you'd like.
Can I get back?
You guys watch as Vip flies out from the shrine.
Super easy. Thought that was gonna be hard. Wasn't even a test.
Obi's leans on what's his face's shoulder, like so hard that he doesn't have any choice but to just crumple to the ground. He points at him and then walks in.
I suppose I'm sitting here on the ground now.
Ow!
Darvile
I
says.
got my eye on you.
Uh,
Don't worry, OBs.
As you step in OBs, let's switch to the other chat. As you step in OBs, you see the familiar visage of the Joaquin goddess in statue form, and beyond that, the open, hidden room of the arbitration area. Inside the Eye of the Arbiter, this arcane device, knowing that if you place a hand on it, by default, you would normally contact the Bastion to allow them to be alerted that your mission is done, and you can await for your next assignment. However, you now have two other opportunities, either contacting the Resplendent or the Scorching Quill, if you so choose. Who do you pick?
Mission complete. He puts his hand on the thingy.
And
he contacts Bastion, yeah.
Okay, you contact Bullionaire Bastion. As you do this mentally, there is a sensation within you that feels as though your message was heard, and you're free to step back out of the shrine. So let's join the other chat.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Oh god.
Not all like you, are they?
Obi's steps out of the
There's
shrine.
no one like me.
Thank God.
Welcome back.
Yes. We need to deal with this one. He points at Darvile. Who do we know that would take him as a prisoner from the Bastion?
Yeah, I figured there'd be somebody here to actually receive him.
I did too. I thought it was like an outpost or something.
They specifically mentioned they are trying to limit you guys meeting together as to make it as rare as possible.
That's right.
So once you have alerted them through the Eye of the Arbiter that your mission is accomplished, they will likely both come to collect Darvile, as well as send a letter to you, alerting you of whatever your next assignment is.
Oh, so we just go home at this point.
It would seem that way. Well, Darvile, it seems you have avoided being smote this day.
That is
Praise the Lord.
Excellent news, Darvile says. I appreciate the second chance and opportunity.
I wouldn't call it that, but should we pin a note to his chest, like a puppy or something, or...
I will keep an eye on him until he is collected.
I shall stand vigil with you as well.
Very well, I'm going home then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. So, see everyone some other time.
Raphael, before you go...
Raphael's staying with you.
I'm staying with
he's staying with
Obese.
Yes, your point of order?
Cassius?
Cassius?
No, before you leave. Raphael, come here.
All right.
He's not going anywhere, but he'll come over there.
Let me see. No. Before we proceed, let me see your hands for a moment.
What?
I'm gonna pull out
I gotta stick around for this.
I'm gonna pull out a small stone and place it over his hands and begin to rub it in a circle.
What heresy is this? What are you doing?
Some sort of holistic something.
It's witchcraft.
Yes. Now look at your palms.
I'm looking at them.
They're clean, aren't they?
Yes?
They're cleansed of all the evil and dirt. You should really wash your hands after dealing with the devil, my friend. And Cassius does the exact same thing and puts the stone away.
Wait, what about the rest of us? Why is it
Well, clearly you all have worked with the such before. This is a man of the light. He can't be tainted by such evils.
I know prestidigitation. I am able to clean my own garments. I am not some invalid. You don't have to wash my hands.
Look, this guy obviously can't appreciate the metaphor that you're doing right now. He can't. He's not one of you. Look, stick with us, and you'll be fine.
Sure.
So
please leave, everyone.
Who stays? Who goes?
Oh yeah, I'm out of here. Fuck this.
Once he started rubbing rocks on his hands, I'm like, oh, this is boring. I'm leaving.
I thought they were gonna kiss.
Raphael, you're staying. OBs, are you staying?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys decide to hang out here in the relatively unpopulated area outside of the shrine. Or you just hang out like outside? What are you doing?
Obese is a master bodyguard. He can find a place where he can observe but not be seen. I can make some stealth checks if you want. He's gonna try, just keep an eye on Cassius or on Darville without being seen.
There's not many people in this area of Lux, so no need for a stealth check. Many darkened halls because there's no sunlight here on the Lux side, or many darkened alleyways, I should say, so plenty of spots to just kind of hole up in.
I would like to stay with them as well if they would welcome me.
Fewer men the better. I think we've got enough to...
Yes, I think we have it under control. You should get some rest.
The funny thing about that, I don't need it, my friend.
Oh, God. Warlocks.
Cassius, come here. Cassius.
Yes, what?
Listen, before I go home, I'm just gonna turn you invisible, alright? Don't tell nobody. Just don't say nothing. You can do whatever you want.
Cassius blinks and then goes invisible and casts on himself.
What a smart ass. What if it's all that? You know what? No one's friendly here. The cats are nice. The pixie's alright.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I'm talking to myself at this point.
Okay.
I'm walking home. I'm walking home.
That's amazing.
Vip, are you staying, going?
You guys don't need any extra help.
I believe we have it under control.
Yeah, he just silently waves you on.
Oh, okay, well, good working with you, and guess you'll see you on the next one.
Indeed.
And
yeah, just invis and go away.
Okay. Alloy, I'm assuming you're following with Mom?
Yeah.
Okay. So some of you part ways. Some of you, Raphael, Obi, stay just to keep a watchful eye over Darvile until representatives of the Bastion come to collect. The others heading back either to their own places or other safe houses they may have to gather some rest and relaxation. And all of you await to once again hear from the Bullionaire Bastion, each of you having made certain decisions during arbitration. And that is where we will end this session for the evening. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Good.
It was fun.
Good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Awesome. Thank you everybody so much who stopped in to watch and bought all kinds of fun stuff with the Twitch channel points. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. Come back and hang out with us next week because this is our new campaign. Every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be playing this, and we're going to see how the future of one of the largest cities and factions in our game turns out as these players make some interesting decisions moving forward. So thank you so much. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. All of my social stuff is the same as the Twitch handle here, GAWD_mode. It's God mode. Go check out the Twitter for up-to-date news on when I stream and my schedule and stuff like that. Go to the YouTube if you want to find uploads, because generally like Twitch VODs are a little harder to access than YouTube vids. Go hang out there. Also check out the Facebook as well as Instagram. I do posts on there as well, so go follow all those things if you want. If you enjoyed the content, I'd love for you to follow the channel and stay up to date with us when we go live. That'd be really awesome. And if you so choose, give us a subscription. It all goes back into my addiction to the Roll20 marketplace, so really appreciate all that. I have a Patreon too at GAWD_mode. Lots of really cool stuff there, including swag, game DM by me, as well as other benefits like naming an NPC in the game, stuff like that. All kinds of really cool things. Early access to the YouTube videos, so go check that out as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I hope you had a fun time. We will be back next week, same time, same place, to see what the next assignment for the group was, seeing how this one went by pretty drama-free, besides meeting some interesting alternatives to the Bastion. So thank you guys so much. Be safe out there. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody!